Please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Donna Corbin-Savinsky.
Here.
Kevin Zorda.
Here.
Virginia Higley. Here. Kelly Hemler.
Here.
Dylan Bridge.
Here.
Ann Collins. Here.
Yep,
Here.
Ken Kaufman.
Here.
Chris Renault.
Here.
Robert Gillespie.
Here.
Okay, 9 of us present. Thank you very much. We can't seat anybody because everybody's here. Oh, yeah. Fire evacuation. I always miss that. In case of emergency, we can exit the door in the back of the room or go out the door to my left, down the stairs, and away from the building. Public communications and petitions. Anybody have anything?
I have this.
Okay, so, nope. There's nobody here in the audience, so we will move on to correspondence.
Well, there is, but
Well, yes, but I think they're here for do you want to come and speak? Sorry, I apologize, no. I knew you were here for later on. Correspondence? No. Okay, I did get an email and a phone call from a gentleman who lives on Eland Street regarding the flooding and the water runoffs and that kind of thing. I did look up our GIS. It's not on wetlands. It's nothing in our controls and regulations that we can do anything with. So I just wanted to make sure people knew that, and there's really not a whole lot we could do. And it was talked about last year, I think, Stephen, or a couple years ago. So unfortunately, we can't help them. Anybody else have anything under correspondence? Nope. Okay. Next is minutes of preceding meetings, March 3rd, special meeting.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of March 3rd, 2025, the special meeting.
I have one change.
Okay.
Just my name was spelled incorrectly
Oh,
on
We need a second
this.
first. We need a second first.
second.
oh, second.
Ginny's going to second
On
that.
number 4, adjournment, it just, my name is just spelled wrong. Not a big deal, but figured I
Okay.
would mention it.
Okay. Motion to
So
As amended.
as amended, okay.
Ginny,
Second.
as amended. Okay, roll call for the special meeting minutes for as amended.
Donna Corbin-Savinsky.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Abstain.
Oops.
Virginia Higley. Yes. Kelly Hemler.
Yes.
Dylan Bridge.
Abstain.
Ann Collins.
Abstain.
Ken Kaufman.
Yes.
Okay, 4 in favor, 3 abstain, motion passes. Next is our March 4th meeting.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of March 4th, 2025, regular meeting.
Second.
Ms. Ginny seconded it.
I have a change.
Okay. They spell your name wrong?
Nope. No, I need to defend my fellow commissioner. Number 15, Kevin had brought, or Commissioner Zorda had brought up that there was invasive species. I know Kevin knows that it's not, worms are not insects, so just have to take the word, and I know it doesn't have to be verbatim, but that's kind of important. So just take out of insects and just make it invasive species called jumping worms.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Good catch.
Good catch.
Good catch. I read that a couple times, too.
So I second it as amended.
As amended, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so roll call as amended.
Donna Corbin-Savinsky.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Virginia Higley. Yes. Kelly Hemler.
Yes.
Dylan Bridge.
Yes.
Ann Collins.
Yes.
Ken Kaufman.
Yes.
7 in favor, motion passes. I'll put that here for now. There's no town attorney report, no continued hearings, no new public hearings, no old business or new business. Enforcements we're on now. Number A, enforcements, cease and desist, 13 Hilliard Drive. Are the people, could you come up to this, state your name and address for the records?
Thomas Mercuglio, 12 Riverview Street.
Can you please make sure that
Yeah, that's
the
it.
mic is on?
Yeah, there should be a red
And you
button.
can also take a seat.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That's better?
Yeah, that's better.
Thomas Bercuglio, 12 Riverview Street.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. You want to give us a little overview, or Stephen?
So on March 6, 2025, a complaint came into the office from the building department by Janice Poulin, reported by Lieutenant Ed Shirley of the fire department, that trees were being cut down at the end of Hillier Drive and further into the woods. He was concerned when he saw what seemed to be excessive clearing and what appeared to be possible wetlands. 13 Hillier Drive is a residential property zoned R33. This is currently a vacant parcel that is heavily wooded with a stream that runs along the eastern property line. According to the town GIS, there are wetlands along the eastern side of the property as well as a stream by the dead end, and they run through the center behind 8 Trinity Drive and the western side of the parcel behind 20 and 22 Trinity Drive, where there appears to be another stream. There's also a 500-year FEMA flood zone that runs along the eastern side of the parcel where their wetland is also demarcated. The property was inspected on 3/6/2025 around 4 o'clock on site. The weather was overcast and the land was muddy due to the rain on the previous day. Upon arrival, one of the neighbors was outside and I spoke to them. The neighbor had informed me that they usually do the cutting on the weekends, and according to the neighbor, the owners are the ones who have been doing the tree cutting closer to the street as well as further into the property, with some wood burning. They also informed me that they tentatively have plans to use the property for raising chickens and goats. From the street, it was observable that the trees were cut with the stumps remaining in place. It was also observed that there were tire marks. I'm reading too fast. Tire marks going into the property and through the muddy soil. Further investigation showed that there was equipment on the property to help with the removal of trees. The cut down trees appear to be a combination of freshly cut and what may already have been fallen over. The trees that were cut down were varied around the property, creating a cleared spot. There was also a pit with burnt wood on the property. The pit appears to have been created to control the burning within the area. There were no enroachment sediment controls found on the property, and during the duration of my visit, the property owner was never seen. Section 6 of the Wetlands Regulation states that no person shall conduct or maintain a regulated activity without first obtaining a permit for such activity from the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Agency. Any person found to be in violation of said regulations is subject to the enforcement proceedings and penalties as described in Section 14 of the Wetlands Regulations. A cease and desist dated 3/8/2025 was sent by certified mail, and on March 12th, the owner of the record, Kevin Ferguson, came into the office around 11:50 a.m. and dropped off the cease and desist order that was mailed and claimed that they do not own the property anymore, and that there was a permit from around 1995. When I asked who it was sold to, he was unsure and stated that he simply signed the forms and gave it back to his attorney. I then stated that the record will need to be checked to see if the owner was updated from when the order was sent out. After contacting town clerk, there did not appear to be a new deed or any other records showing the sale. An email was sent asking if they could provide proof of sale, and Mr. Ferguson responded the same day stating that they will call his lawyer who had handled the closing. As of March 14th, our office still has not yet received the proof of sale or ownership change.
Hi,
Hello.
how you doing?
Good.
So who owns it?
I do.
You do? What was your name again?
Thomas Bercuglio.
Okay. Thomas. Did you update the records, or Stephen? Did you update the records? I mean,
I'm
not
not
the
the
deed,
one-
but,
I'm not the one who would update the property
Yeah.
owner's records. That would be whoever the attorney was that had handled the closing with them. So-
Correct. So my attorney got back to me today. It looks like he came and filed them today. For whatever reason, he forgot to file them, he said. So,
that's nice.
yes.
Did you forget to pay him?
I hope so.
Yeah. So, what are you gonna be doing with the property?
Right now, we're working on clearing because it has been a vacant lot from what I've understood from possibly the 80s. So when we purchased using the town GIS, looking at the maps and the wetlands and some previous information that was given to me from the attorney or the other real estate agent, I was just trying to clear land to get into the property. They said they had a permit. They were cutting a road in there previously when they had plans to do some building there. So as of right now, we were trying to clear stuff to get into the property as it was overgrown, and just hopes of getting us a land survey, to which they haven't responded. I've called probably think it was the first week of January I called to get a couple different surveyors out there, and they said, we'll call you back in, 12 to 14 weeks maybe. So hopefully at one point have a building lot or build a house there for my in-laws. And then I would like to have some livestock.
That's where the goats and chickens come in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, yeah, I did,
Yeah,
I did,
yeah,
I did
I
pick
see
a, I did go by Saturday and took a couple pictures, and I printed off the GIS. So this is the property.
Oh,
Okay, that's this in yellow is the
Yeah.
property.
Oh, wow.
This is the end of Hillier, which is
Yeah.
this. So this is
Oh,
what
so
they,
he's going
they were,
to the wetlands.
so they were clearing like this area. Yeah, definitely close to the wetlands.
So even if there was a permit in 1995, that's expired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if there was an extension, it would be expired.
Sure.
So you need a new permit.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you can contact the office and they'll run you through exactly what you need to do.
Sure.
There's,
there's a couple brooks or something.
yeah, there's brooks, there's wetlands, so
Correct.
you're gonna have to get that. You can't necessarily go, you might have to get a wetlands scientist in there.
Sure.
And there's some precautions you have to take, and you just can't clear in wetlands or in the upland review without a permit.
Okay.
Upland review is 100 feet from the wetlands, so.
Now, there's
it
a couple
looks-
brooks, though.
And there's brooks, so that's 200
200
feet
feet.
from those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, it's at the end of Hilliard Drive is where most of that density is of that stuff, so you definitely are gonna need a permit come before us.
Okay.
Yeah. Where were you gonna put the house, like to the left or right?
I'm trying to figure that out. Those pictures I saw online with the agenda tonight, that was the first time I ever seen standing water in that area since
Yeah.
purchase. I knew that from talking with the neighbors that they said it was wet off to like the sides of the houses on the left side.
Yeah.
I didn't know to what extent
it's pretty wet.
yeah, I saw those pictures and that, like I said, that was the first time seeing standing water over there.
Yeah.
So that's why I was trying to get a surveyor in there to try and identify everything, and then I
Then
get
figure
the
it out
ideal
from there.
location right.
Yeah, okay.
And just be aware that in Connecticut, wetland soil is determined by the soil
Soil.
type. So you don't even need to see a wet area for it to actually be considered a wet.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's why you need a soil scientist
Sure.
in there
to figure that out.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so essentially, you just can't do any more cutting until,
You get,
yeah. until you
put an
get that
application in and
Sure.
get the surveyor and everybody out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
permit. And they're really good. They'll just call them, they'll run you through all the steps that you need to do, and we'll get you back in here.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thank you.
Any questions, or?
Yeah, okay.
Yep, and
Just
if-
keep Stephen in the loop so
Yeah.
we'll know what you're doing.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And I would just like to also offer this while you are sitting here. You're more than welcome to shoot me an email and try to set up a time to set up a meeting with me, and we'll sit down, talk about exactly what it is you need and what the process may look like for you to be able to obtain the permit.
Sure. Perfect. Thank you.
Of course.
I wonder if he's gonna want to figure out where his house is gonna go.
Yeah,
before
that's what I
we-
was gonna say. If you're gonna go through that process, it might be worth starting to think about that, where you're gonna put the footprint, if you wanna do that as well.
And even then, that's something that we can also include in our discussion. I can go over what the setbacks are for that property and what your coverage limitations are. And so it'll be worth having a conversation in the office, not to only cover what you would need for the wetlands permit here, but also with what you would need to satisfy the planning and zoning
Okay.
regulations.
Right.
Perfect.
Because if you're gonna put the house in, depending on where it's gonna go, is gonna require the wetlands.
Sure. Certainly.
So if we do it all in one, it'd probably be easier for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Less expensive too,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Do you,
thank
any
you.
questions or?
No, ma'am.
No? Thank you very much for coming.
thank
Okay.
Just really quick. Wait.
You can,
You can talk.
you can talk. Yeah, you can talk.
I just wanted to ask really quickly, do you have my email address readily available for you, or?
Yes, I do. I was forwarded the cease and desist on the agenda.
Okay, perfect. And so in that case, you can just shoot me an email tomorrow morning, and I'll respond to you, and we can either set up a time or figure out what works best for us to have the conversation of what you need to do.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay, sounds good.
And you don't have to stay if you don't want to. You're welcome, yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome to stay
Say if you want, but if you don't want to. Have a good evening. Did you want to?
Yeah, I think under enforcement, I just want to put on the record that I believe it was last week, I sent an email to Stephen, Donna, and Rick that I had driven by the Oliver Road house that was being built that we had approved, and I had noticed that there was a huge muddy mess. They had not put in any kind of entrance gravel or anything like that. As they said, there was no culvert for the stream there, and so I wanted to, I noticed those things driving by, and so I sent a message to them, and Rick did respond that there was actually a cease and desist sent out the previous day, but it was sent for zoning.
Or something, right?
That is correct. So the cease and desist order was based on that we were missing a foundation as built. And when they, to my understanding, what they had turned in still was not satisfactory, so that cease and desist is still in place. We did mention, along with the cease and desist order, pardon my language, that the E&S controls were not in place as you had mentioned. And when I drove by there on Friday, the previous Friday, they did lay down a construction entrance since being placed the cease and desist order, and to our knowledge, there has not been any continued work on the property since that was placed in.
All right, so there was work the day I drove by, which would have been after the cease and desist, so.
Yeah. And there was work on Sunday, because I drove by on
They were
Sunday.
doing roofing, and and the roofer didn't look very happy having to trudge through the mud because
No.
the shingles were left in the middle of the mud pit.
Yeah.
And a pile.
So I'm not a construction person, so I don't know, but when would they put that pipe in under the driveway? Because that's, all the water's backing up. It's making it,
This isn't the horse place.
No, this is right around the corner.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Post Office Road, and you go right around the corner. It's right there, on Tolliver.
yeah, the culvert should go in because all that drainage comes off of the farm, the small farm that's up there, and
Yeah.
it runs along that swale right there, and basically.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was, I didn't have the records in front of me, but I was pretty sure that we had, they said they were gonna put a culvert in. and
Yeah,
then
we did.
crossing.
It was
Yeah.
it's on the permit.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a culvert. And what they did is they filled it in with
Yeah.
dirt and for the driveway.
Yeah,
They should have put in the culvert, the piping, so it continues to flow. That was our concern.
Yeah,
That's
so I
backing-
don't know, I haven't seen.
don't know
it
when
since
you would
the-
do
the
that, but-
Construction entrance, if they did that or not, so.
No, it's not there.
Well, you can do it afterwards. They call it blowing under
Yeah.
the system. But it's, it would have been better, I think, to have
It's
done it
not deep
before.
enough for them to do that way, but, yeah. So,
Okay.
all right, well, we'll see.
We'll just keep
Hopefully they
watching that,
correct
see if they
yeah.
correct it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since we're on this topic, so I did, as I went that way, I went past Post Office Road, and the erosion controls there are down in some places and stuff. That still needs to be corrected. Did you have an update on that? Because they were going to get a surveyor out there on Post Office Road, and
So to my knowledge, I did send out the email to the builder at that time, just
Last meeting.
highlighting what our discussion was.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, they haven't continued any work on the property since being sent that email. They are aware that they need to fix the erosion and sediment controls. They are aware of needing the land surveyor to mark out where the conservation area is, as well as the pins on the property.
Yeah.
I did ask them to notify me when they've gone ahead and made all the corrections. I was informed that they had removed the additional little piles of dirt that was on the
I saw that was
property.
gone.
But obviously, they have not continued doing the other steps yet. And as I had stated, I asked them to notify me when they had done all the corrections, and I have not received that
Yeah.
notification yet.
can we follow
So-
up and see, like, when they plan on doing it? They might have an issue.
I
getting somebody
I
out
can
there.
send a
Yeah.
follow-up email asking what's a rough timeline for all that.
Yeah, if we can get a status on it, follow, that'd be good. Okay, anybody else have anything? No? Planning staff report.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Applications to be received. XIW number 2503, Post Road, Simon Road, Weymouth School Road. Application for an inland wetlands permit for roadway improvements, reconstruction, replacement of sidewalks, and replacement of sewer stormwater features. Town of Enfield applicant owner. So it's being received. We don't have any other ones coming in?
Nope, that's the only application as of right now. And when we get this one comes in.
Right. Because that would be our only thing for the meeting next week.
Yeah.
Well, next would be miscellaneous, and I know Kelly had something.
Yep, I
Which
have-
is, hand up.
So I was researching a bill that's going through the state, Bill number 1313, and the first 10 times I read it, I read it as it would be exempt from wetlands and conservation. So I read it again today, and I was reading it wrong. It's exempt from this particular bill. But Donna suggested I bring it to, your attention and Chris's attention, because he's our lawyer here.
Yeah.
I'm a bookkeeper. I don't pretend to be a lawyer.
Okay, give him this one, it's all
It's all-
5 pages.
It's in legalese, so just if you could just confirm that this does not affect wetlands, because if it does, then we all want to be able to
Comment.
correspond with the state and say, please don't do that.
If I may pitch in.
Yeah,
Please.
So I did read the bill early on. Right now it's still in the process of going through the Senate and all the other
Right.
processes that it has to. So there's still chances of wording being changed. And as of right now, it's a little early for town staff to report on this, because usually when these kinds of things come in, we will report on them. But as of right now, it's a zoning. It's a change that would affect zoning, not a change that would affect wetlands.
yeah, because we were concerned with paragraph B. It does say that the zone, we would have no control over the wetlands.
That's
But
not
then in
necessarily.
category D, it says we're
It's
exempt.
not necessarily removing control from wetlands whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just, it's something that would affect purely zoning, not wetlands, at least at this time.
Yeah.
But I will say that CCAPA did support this bill, so.
Yeah, so we just want to make sure we keep an eye on it.
Right, because last year there was one that they wanted to exempt wetlands from housing, so that's why, that's what piqued my interest.
Right.
On this one. But
Yeah.
good to know.
Yeah.
that it-
And of course, when the bill passes or we learn more information about it, when town staff feels comfortable about it, we will then go ahead and report exactly what that bill means to all of you.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's going to make impacts to the wetlands or controls, we would want to go to the legislator ahead of time.
Right, we
before it
want to know,
passes.
we want to know about it before it passes, so that,
So we could get in touch with our representatives and
Right.
say, stop, we don't,
We can put our
or
thoughts.
go to public hearings or,
Go to public hearings,
things like that.
to say, we're
Make our
concerned.
concerns
So if you see
known.
something cross your desk, please let us know.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Yeah. Because this section of town with the train sale, the rail station, the Connecticut River's there.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Connecticut River's within that half mile.
There's also, it looks like escarpments,
Yep.
steep
Yeah.
slopes of 15% are also
Yeah.
exempt from
Yeah.
this.
And that's
Yeah.
a good
As well.
thing.
And
That's
those
a
are
good thing.
present at
Yeah.
the river as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. So long as they leave section D alone, we're pretty good, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that.
So we wanted to keep an eye on it,
Yes.
make sure before it goes through. Anybody else have anything?
Kevin does.
Kevin
Yeah.
does. Yes.
I was
Oh, this-
just thinking as this is going through, because I saw a news segment on the Enfield Mall and the things going on, just to remind everybody that you cannot discuss anything going on with that, because it's very likely any project done there is going to come before us, so you should not make any comments, talk to anybody about it in any way, just to protect our proceedings.
Yeah. As well as the train station area, all
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
It's all within our wetlands.
Yeah.
area.
Okay,
Ken.
yeah, Stephen, I got a property of concern, 1695 King Street,
Oh, okay.
which is, I think that's the Snell Grows Chocolate here. Behind it, I know there's a small pond and some marsh area, and it looks like they're clearing brush, cutting trees, heavy equipment back there. I wonder if you were aware of that.
You said that there was some clearing going on at 1695 King.
Yep.
In the back of it?
This is the first time I'm hearing of it, but it looks like it may be tricky for me to go and investigate. But I can take a look tomorrow.
There is an access road to that big building.
Oh, that, just like an apartment building, I mean, an office building.
Office
Yeah.
building, yep. If you turn right into there and go straight on back, you look to the left and
Here it is.
there it is.
Yep.
There may be a permit already, because when I was on wetlands the first time, we passed that whole industrial area. They haven't done anything with it yet, but that may be a wetlands permit
Where's that,
already.
It would have expired by now.
Oh, it would have, because that was like,
It's only 5 years.
that was 2019.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can get an extension, but that's
Yeah, they
another
might-
5 years. It's-
And they're supposed to alert us
Yeah.
before they start.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I know the marsh is there and there is a pond back there. I don't, yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I will take a look.
Yeah, that's good, thank you. Anybody else have anything? Nothing on the back. Anybody else have anything? Comments, questions, concerns? Ann, you have anything?
No.
Move to adjourn.
Check in. Who said that? Ken. Ginny, 7:27. All in favor? Aye.